Hi there! Thank you so much for joining me today. This is Julie DiMatteo from thepaperpixie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US, and in this video tutorial I've got this cute Halloween treat holder featuring the cute Halloween product suite from the mini catalog, and all you need is a 6x6 inch piece of designer series paper for this treat holder. I've made a couple of these before. They were inspired by German demonstrators Katja Hamann and Brigitte Keiling, and I love it so much I just keep making different versions of it. So let me show you how easy this is to make. I'm starting with a piece of the cute Halloween designer series paper, which comes in 6 inch by 6 inch pieces, and I want to have my paper directionally going from top to bottom this way. If we're going to do it in portrait, if you wanted it to be in landscape, you'd want to turn your paper pattern so that it's going left to right. So we're going to do it this way. In this direction, we're going to score this at 2 inches, 2 3/4, 4 3/4, and 5 1/2. Then I'm going to rotate it clockwise, and we're going to score this at 1, 2, 4, and 5. Then I'm going to rotate it back counterclockwise, and we're going to make some short score lines. The first one at 2 3/8, but I'm going to stop at that first horizontal score line, and then 5 1/8, again stopping at that first horizontal score line. Then just remember 2 measurements. I'm going to flip the cardstock like so, and again do 2 3/8, stop at the score line, and 5 1/8, stop at the score line. You do want to hold on to your stylus for this next part. I'm going to bring in the template here and show you. Those short score lines that we made are actually going to give us a starting point to do these diagonal score lines. Now, a quick note, these diagonal score lines are completely optional. They do give you a nice crisper diagonal fold if you do the score lines, but this version I made during my live stream, you can see that it's very similar, but I completely forgot to do the diagonal score lines during the live stream, so I just pinched them. So you've got options here, especially if you're making a whole bunch of them. I recommend just skipping the diagonal score line part and then just pinching them. These would be so cute for Halloween trick-or-treaters. So using a ruler, I would just line up at the bottom of that short score line and score on the diagonal like so. And just repeat that in all 4 sections. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can see those diagonal score lines there in the light. All right, next we're going to go ahead and fold and burnish on all the score lines that go all the way across the paper. All right, bringing that template back again, I've got my 2 inch section here along the left and my 1/2 inch section here along the right. We want to keep the 2 panels that are in this sort of middle wide section here. So I'm going to come in with my paper snips, and if it's easier for you to see the score lines on the back of the paper, you can do that too, but I think actually on the black side is easier. So I'm going to cut up, it's really the 1, 2, 3, the 3rd score line in, and I'm going to cut just inside the score line, so to the left of the score line, and stop at that first horizontal score line. And then I'm going to turn it 1/4 of a turn and then just remove that whole corner like so. So we just remove that piece. Then I'm going to come in just to the right of the score line in this wide section, cut up and stop at the horizontal score line, turn it 1/4 of a turn, and then cut all the way to remove that whole section like that. So we've just got that 1 2 inch wide piece left along the bottom. Now we're going to repeat the same thing on the opposite side. Again, it's going to be matching up with this top side here. So coming in and cutting up just inside the score line, stopping at the horizontal score line, 1/4 of a turn, remove this whole section. Same thing here, cut to the right of the score line, turning 1/4 of a turn and removing this section. So then you're left with a piece that looks like this. Now we're going to come in and do a little bit of miter cutting. On this 1/2 inch section here, I'm just going to come in on either edge, just cut off a little diagonal sliver there. And then on these two pieces that are sticking out, the same thing, I'm going to come in and diagonally cut, and that's going to help those tuck into the box. You can also use the detailed trio punch or a corner rounder as well. I find this is super quick and easy. All right, so the last thing we want to do is add just a little finger notch here. I've got a 1/2-inch circle punch that you can find on Amazon. And I'm going to punch, I'm centering it from the score line to the edge and coming in about 1/3 of the way in the circle just to give us a little finger notch there. Then the next thing I'm going to do is take some tear and tape adhesive, and I'm going to run that right along this little 1/2-inch section. I'm going right up to the score line instead of the edge of the paper, like so. And you can see that that's going right up to the score line, not the edge of the paper. Go ahead and pull the backing off with my Take Your Pick tool. If you have any tear and tape that's hanging over the edge, just fold it right back on itself, okay? I'm gonna flip this over. We're gonna fold on the second score line from the left and the first score line from the right, and that's gonna line right up where we want it to line up. So it's coming together. Now we're just gonna pinch right there. I kind of put my index fingers right there in the sides. And if you've scored, those are gonna go together really easily, and they're only gonna go together slightly less easily if you didn't do the score lines. Again, I recommend if you're gonna do a whole bunch of these, don't even worry about doing the diagonal score lines. Just pinch there on the sides using your index fingers. We'll do that to both sides here. It'll stop right at that score line there. Really cute, almost milk carton edge there. So here's the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and just slightly curl that tab. This is 1 inch long, and so it's gonna really hold the box together. I just start to tuck it in like so, and then I can press in and kind of pinch at the same time, and that's gonna hold itself together. I love the mechanics of this box. Now let's put our treat in. I've got 2 treats that I recommend, but I know you'll find some other things as well. This is my absolute favorite candy, the Reese's Take 5, or a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup will fit. So let me show you both of those. Perfect fit. Now the center section of this is 2 inches by 2 inches by 3/4 of an inch, but you get a little bit of extra wiggle room in this tapered edge as well. So that kind of helps with the wrapper. So that's the Take 5. I'll show you the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup fits as well. Like so. So now I'm just going to again do the same thing on this side, start to tuck that in, and then press and pinch and slide in, and voila, it holds itself together just perfectly. And then the recipient can have some assistance with that little finger notch to get that open. How cute! All right, let's do a little bit of stamping. We're going to be using this adorable Cutest Halloween stamp set, and I love the sentiment, "You put a smile on my face." The trick or treat sentiment works as well. So I'm going to stamp that in Memento Tuxedo Black ink onto basic white. And then with the layering circles dies, I've got the 3rd from the smallest, so 1, 2, 3 of the scallop circle. I'm going to cut that out of Highland Heather cardstock. And the 2nd from the smallest, so 1, 2, I'm going to die cut that around the sentiment, "You put a smile on my face." I like to take a small Post-it note and get that lined up where I want it to cut, and then just use the Post-it note to hold everything into place. And I'm gonna go die cut these and be right back. All right, we've got those 2 pieces now die cut. I'm gonna come in with some liquid glue. I'm gonna turn this piece into a bit of a tag here. I've just got a hole punch, like so. Bring in our treat holder and then this adorable black and white gingham ribbon. I'm going to feed that through the front of the tag. And I'm actually going to then put this ribbon behind the treat holder. I like to tie this off the spool. And I'll cross the spool over and get that tag right where I want it. And then I'm going to grab my reverse tweezers. That's going to help me hold the knot. So like a 3rd hand for me. And we'll go ahead and tie a bow. There's that. We'll situate our little tag there. And I'm going to grab a star from the Cute Stars sequins. And then we're just going to add that to our little sentiment here. And there we have our cute Halloween treat holder. I love this, especially this sentiment, "You put a smile on my face," with that cute little skeleton smile. Super cute. So we've got a couple of different versions. You can have so much fun, especially with our designer series papers. They're easy to cut down to 6 by 6 if they're not that size already. This treat holder would be really fun for a table favor for Christmas or Thanksgiving. great for trick-or-treaters. I love that it only takes a 6x6 inch piece of designer series paper, which means it's great for using up your stash. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss my next video. If you're interested in purchasing any of the Stampin' Up! Products I used today, they'll be linked in the description. And I'll also include a link to my detailed blog post with all project measurements, details, and a picture of the template. I'd love to have you come visit me at thepaperpixie.com, where I post projects every weekday to inspire you. And if you don't want to miss a thing, you can subscribe to receive blog updates via email, and you'll receive an email each time I publish a new post. You can shop with me anytime at thepaperpixie.com/shop. And if you're interested in a discount on your Stampin' Up! Purchases, the starter kit is the ultimate bundle, and it's a great way to fulfill your wish list for less. You can purchase the starter kit at thepaperpixie.com/join. And I'd love to welcome you home to the Stampin' Up! Family and my team of Paper Pixies. If you don't already have a demonstrator and you'd like complimentary copies of our current catalogs, you can submit a catalog request at thepaperpixie.com/happymail. And if you give this cute project a try, I'd love to see what you made, so feel free to share it on social media with the hashtag #PaperPixie, and I'll be sure to check it out. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Take care. Bye.